good?
Yeah, just getting everything set up.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I can get rid of this now, so they can see the background, even though it's partially blinded out by that bright ass lamp.
Would it help to turn that off? Or?
I don't know. I mean, you can try. I don't know what it'll look like on the video. I've always had it on for the video, but it's a little dark. I like that. It's fuck it. It's low production value. It's not that bad. But fucking.
We got a new mascot in here today.
Oh, Snickers.
Yeah.
He's big chilling back there. Actually, yeah, the camera can see her if I move.
Yeah.
Little baby. They'll all come back here.
Yeah, I'm sure
back here.
Lily and Otis will be in here. No.
Yeah, that's why this middle shelf right here is covered with a blanket, just so that's literally where Snickers sits when Kara and I.
Down.
But yeah, Snickers lays there while Kara plays her video games, and I'm doing my shit over here.
Looks like your cat's taking more to your wife than you.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Snickers like straight up sleeps with Kara every night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like.
Oh, okay. Well.
Like she cuddles.
She's a good little cat.
Oh yeah, she's the happiest cat in the world.
Yep, despite having one leg missing.
I was gonna say she has 3.
Yeah, I know. I meant like one leg missing. Yeah.
All right. On a much darker note, 10 people died in New Orleans this morning.
I know, and I didn't even see what actually happened. Like, I'd seen that it happened, but I didn't know what actually happened though.
Yeah. Apparently, the FBI is investigating it as an act of terrorism, which I think is wild.
I mean, did somebody open fire? Did they run him over with a vehicle?
So the videos I saw on Instagram Reels, like from the news, was somebody talking about how they heard gunshots and then they heard like a really loud bang, which was apparently the vehicle driving into traffic.
Oh, okay.
But this is what AP News says about it.
Associated Press, yeah.
Yeah. Look at this ancient motherfucker. Why is that
term
the
limits,
police
man.
dog?
Need to have term limits.
Who is
on
this?
age.
Law enforcement officials. Why is she still allowed to do this job? That is a Walmart greeter.
Yeah, she looks like somebody.
Look at this dude. Look at this motherfucker right here. He's like, why is she talking? Look at him. Look at him. He's like, damn, the fucking string they're using to hold her up is falling.
It's like Senate and Congress, like, wanting to have term limits that are way, 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 way too fucking long.
This motherfucker looks like John Cena. Look at that.
So, I mean...
I'm making light of someone. Oh,
no.
He was a Muslim. Shamsuddin Jabbar, 42, U.S. citizen. You hate to see it. Sleeper cells. Working from Texas and said is to working to determine Jabbar's potential associations and affiliations with terrorist organizations. Wow. That's crazy. But this very tragic thing that happened, but something like this happens every other week.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, the only reason that it stuck out a little bit more is because of the fact that it was a holiday.
Well, and the fact that he was Muslim and not black.
Yeah. But...
Because this is New Orleans. Like, I mean, are you shitting me? This happens in the 7th Ward all the time.
Well, if we listen to anything that our government actually says, they claim they've taken out, multiple cells and everything that were planning for something last night.
He said he heard a commotion and banging, which was the sound of bodies bouncing off of this fucking pickup truck.
Okay.
And then he said it hit one of her friends. That's very graphic. That's crazy. This dude just ran away from everybody. That's valid. Didn't stop to help his friend who was on the ground, twisted up and screaming.
I mean, hate to see it, man. I mean, regardless what happened, I mean, it's still terrible.
It's a terrible, tragic thing. But what I hate to see is that there are more people walking down the street filming people screaming for help on the side of the road than helping these motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's a shame that you got to go straight to social media to post shit to get views before helping somebody.
Well, none of them know how to provide help. That's the thing. Is like I keep a first aid kit in my car at all times. You know this, but that's because if I see like an accident or something, I can provide aid.
Well,
you can too. Basic first aid.
Yeah, I know CPR, basic first aid, and even a little bit more advanced.
But I'm not going to whip out my phone unless it's to call the police and be like, hey, I need a motherfucking ambulance.
Yeah. I mean, but I've always been that firm believer of, you see somebody like getting in a car wreck, a couple of years ago. There was a car wreck that actually happened right there on Nemore and Dixie. Yeah. And, nobody would stop. Nobody would stop and help this person. I pulled over and helped them out, made sure they were okay till the paramedics got there. Hell, when I was at work at Take 5, that bad wreck happened in front of the store, and I was the first one to dart out there and help them when everybody else was just standing the fuck around not doing shit.
There was when I lived down in Georgia, when I was still active, I was coming back on the base from Savannah for some fucking reason. I wasn't even in uniform or anything, but I remember I had like a time limit I was supposed to be on. But there was a broken down. It was like an old Buick LeSabre on the side, like right off this highway off ramp, and it was just like 3 like 70-year-old black men just staring at this engine bay, not knowing what the fuck to do. And I was like, fuck, they need help. Because it was about to start pissing rain. It's Georgia. Hurricane season had just started. These dudes are out there by themselves. Nobody, like, I helped them for like an hour. Like, I called my first line. I was like, there's somebody stuck on the side of the road. I'm doing a good thing. Cover for me. But I helped them for like an hour, and 150 people drove past us, and not one person stopped to help us.
Well, I was going to say, like, a couple months ago, me and Jessica went up to the Speedway right there on Nemore, and there were some people standing out there, and they were trying to change a tire, and they were really struggling. I mean, whoever put those lug nuts on was, they probably put 300 pounds of torque behind that thing.
Ugga dugga.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And she's like, are you going to help them and everything? I was like, don't have my gun on me. It's nighttime. I'm like, I was like, no. And I get about halfway down the road, and she's like, what? What's wrong? I'm like, I'm going to go back and help them.
I got to help them.
So I had to go get the impact gun from the house, to help him change out the lug nuts. And then, obviously,
if I'm
grab my handgun when I have to go down there. But
yeah, unless I'm like going to work, or like I'm like it's like something with like Kara, or if like I'm on my way home, and because I work long days. Like, if I'm just driving around, like, going to the grocery store or something, like, if I see someone who's put over on the side of the road, I'll slow down and be like, are you good? Do you need something?
Well, common courtesy like that for people doesn't really exist anymore.
No. Here's the one we were talking about last night.
This is the one I sent you last night, yeah.
Look at these fucking pieces of shit. Look at these lazy-ass explosives. FBI finds largest explosive cache on a Virginia farm. BBC. Is this the whole thing?
I don't know if that's everything that they had found.
That would be. Is this the whole thing? Please.
I mean, because if it is, I mean, that's not really, the biggest cache that I've ever seen them find.
That I was gonna say. I've definitely seen people in Drexel that have more fireworks than this.
It's like what me and you were joking around last night. We were like, all right, sorry, officer, it's my emotional support C4.
It's medicinal. Sir, that is an IED. Yes, it's actually my assisted suicide device. I'm going to Canada. It's legal there.
I mean,
Jesus.
And
150 bombs during the raid on a farm in Virginia, thought to be the largest such cache seized by the law enforcement agency.
Thought to be.
Yeah, so this is just. Come on now, come on, Max. Get on your shit, Max. This is a hook. I mean, it works. but
Well,
don't be gay.
My question is, I think they need to be a little bit more concerned about the fact that, like on the last episode we talked about, them losing that radiological material. The radioactive material. They need to be a little bit more concerned about finding that than this.
Yeah, they're not talking about that shit at all.
No, they're not. It's like it dropped off the face of the fucking earth now.
A lot of people are complaining about the fog, though.
What about the fog?
Have you not seen anything about the fog?
No.
All right, let me pull it up here in a second. Make sure my Bluetooth's turned off. I think I saw news. Ooh, I like that. A DARPA conspiracy theory. I always love DARPA stuff.
Well, they always have the interesting shit.
Let's go sports something magazine.
Conspiracy theory surrounding abnormal fog enveloping the globe intensifies. What is smart dust?
The fuck is smart? Alien spores. Ooh.
While some mention alien spores, okay.
Called it a chemical mist. Claimed it was a methane explosion. That's retarded. Shut up. Those unaware, smart dust refers to a kind of miniaturized and often invisible wireless devices with sensors, cameras, and communication systems that transmit data, collect it back to a base, and then process it.
Okay. That's new.
Is it though?
I mean, I wouldn't say new, but it's definitely something you don't hear. People talk about very often.
No, but if it's something that, well, DARPA has a funded project on it, so that means it definitely exists.
Does DARPA not have their hands in, dude? I mean, we both know that.
Fair. Our good friend AJ.
Look, man, the day that I found out
that's crazy.
That back in, I think it's the 60s, they tried to develop a gay bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised about anything anymore.
No, it's wild.
And, everybody listening, yes, the military actually tried to make a gay bomb that they can drop over enemy lines that would allow them to be aroused towards one another.
Yeah, they're literally, it was a bomb designed to make the enemies so horny that they would have to fuck each other. And then they could just swoop in and kill them all while they were banging.
I've heard worse weapons than that.
We have worse weapons than that now.
I mean, that is straight up psychological warfare right there.
That's crazy. Fucking smart dust. But, I mean, I'm not that surprised that DARPA has a project funded for that when I think it was Raytheon or Boeing, one of those companies, just released, like, their plane that literally metamorphs using nanotechnology.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, not only that, like, I seen somebody post the other day, like, the different experimental, like, aircraft that they've been developing, and then like Lockheed Martin and Skunk Works and all of them that they're a part of, and they got patents on, like the TR-3B. I don't know if you are familiar with that.
Nope, you can say letters and numbers jumbled together like that, and I'll just go, Roger.
Pull it up, Logan.
What is it?
That's my way of saying pull it up, Jamie.
What is it?
It's the TR-3B.
TR-3B?
Yes.
Aircraft?
Yep.
Oh, is this the...
So it's the triangle aircraft.
Oh, it's the one that China copied in their 6th gen?
Have
you seen China's new 6th gen?
No, I heard about it, but I did not get to see it.
They have two variants.
You're going to have to show me that.
Yeah.
Because,
let me show you that.
I heard about it, though.
Boom. So there's...
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, brother. I can't wait for this paper tiger to be blown out of the water. Excuse me, I was smoking weed.
Well, what I thought was hilarious is like they
because that's what this is. It's a paper tiger.
Well, everybody was saying
it's just like the MiG.
The world's first 6th generation fighter. No, we've got shit in our arsenal that we just haven't shown yet.
We created the SR-21 Blackbird.
Oh, the SR-71.
Or SR-71 Blackbird in the 80s.
True. Well, 60s actually. So, but
shut the fuck up.
I will tell you right now that they are also about to do a test flight next year of the SR-72.
I know.
And that is a bad motherfucker, man. It really is.
Yeah, but this is what China unveiled like last week or something.
That's crazy, though.
So they have two of them. There's this 2-engine. I think this is the 3-engine one.
I will say
the White Emperor, and the other one, it's a paper tiger.
It's a badass looking plane, though.
It looks cool, but I promise you, it doesn't do what they say. And I promise you, it's an excuse for us to dump $50 billion into our Air Force and be air dominant for the next 50 years again.
Well, you know what? We need to do something with them cutting all the funding to that and taking out a lot of, black projects.
Well, it's because they're going to fund Space Force and we're going to have a fucking drone army.
Well, what I thought was crazy.
They're trying to do the fucking Stark Ultron thing where they have the fucking drone robots that patrol
around the world. Yeah. I know what was crazy about this when I heard about it was that it could go the altitude of the SR-71 and possibly even the stratosphere. Like
they claim space. Yeah. They claim space.
That's crazy.
If you claim space, shut up. It's not big enough. The SR-71 was space capable.
Pretty much. I mean, there was a reason why they had to wear a specialized flight suit that was very similar to the astronaut suit.
It was space capable.
SR-71 is still dominant.
It's the SR-71 is what Halo Reach loosely based the Saber project on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right about that.
And that was, if you don't know anything about Halo, the Saber project was their planetary to spatial aircraft program. They wanted to create a fighter jet that could operate in the atmosphere and outside the atmosphere without being launched from a separate rocket system.
It's such a cool fucking mission. I love that. Such a cool mission.
Very cool. It did have detachable boosters for the first launch, but once in the atmosphere, it was free.
It was a very good idea that they implemented into that game for that.
Yes. What else you got?
We
got news. Can provoke an arms race? Yeah.
Well,
I love people that claim
Russia
that we're
actually said that they were going to do another hypersonic missile test.
Yeah.
And then, in response to all the funding that they're giving Ukraine before Trump gets inaugurated.
Let's see what the North Koreans are doing in there.
Kill themselves to avoid capture in Ukraine.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's go, NBC. What you got for me? Yeah, they're getting whacked right now.
Well, the downside for these hypersonic missile tests is the fact that they're nuclear capable. And what they talked about is that, even if they did do a launch with a conventional warhead, when it's up in the air and they're doing a test like that, if they fire it over into Ukraine, you don't know if it's nuclear or if it's conventional.
Well, so they warn us. So through the nuclear war prevention channels, they communicate with us because that's what they have to do. Even when I was in Syria, the Russian forces were right there. We made visual contact with them many times, but we had to go through deconfliction channels to actually talk to them. Even though I'm pretty sure it wasn't me, but there was a group of us that definitely got pictures with the Russian soldiers in Syria.
Shit. Wow. Okay.
Not selfies, but
I know what you mean.
But they were the vehicles were there and there, and they were just
Well, I mean,
which I did shit like that all the time. We all had our phones in Syria. I don't care what the government says. All of us bring every single level of command gets a phone. They get a phone.
I believe it.
That's why they all have that little stupid phone carrier on their plate carriers here. Because the Army gives you a phone, and it has a special tracking system and all this crap on it that you can buy for any.
It's encrypted and everything like that. But I do remember, what was the program that you had to use when you texted?
Oh, Signal? Signal is just like WhatsApp. It's just like WhatsApp. It's the same thing. It's not technically encrypted, and our government can break it. Iran can break it. Israel can break it. China can break it if they really want to.
That's fair.
Nothing is truly encrypted nowadays. But
that's fair.
But it is more secure than just using basic cell towers. Okay. Because end-to-end encryption at least means that your average Joe can't just be like, boink.
Understandable.
Which we might have to go to that soon. Because things are getting bleak. Especially with the way that things are going over here. These suicides were likely out of fear of reprisal against their families in North Korea in the event that they're captured. Or maybe they're afraid that they're going to get tortured in the Ukrainian fucking prisoner of war camps. Because Ukrainians aren't taking prisoner of wars.
No.
They're fucking killing everyone. And a lot of them are being, like, brutally murdered. The Russians are doing the same thing. Yeah, I've seen some crazy videos.
I have too, yeah. I mean, especially where they put that guy up against that wall and that...
With the cinder blocks taped to his head and they sledged him? Yep. That's what they do to deserters.
Yep.
Get fucked, dude.
I mean, that shit was wild. I mean, it's still not on the level of, like, the shit that ISIS or Al-Qaeda did, you know, and...
Yeah.
I remember being in high school and, you know, watching those videos on, shit, what was that?
God damn.
What's up?
So, North Korea deployed an estimated 11,000 soldiers in Ukraine. Because in November and December, during the last big couple pushes by Russia, they lost like 45,000, according to the Brits, which who knows how accurate that is. Their intelligence is not the best. But, I mean, to be fair, this is all filtered through the news. This is what they give us.
Yeah, but I don't know what North Korea hoped to gain, like, sending that amount of troops over. It's not going to make a difference. I mean, it's really not.
Well, here's the thing, man. The Russians are not going to stop because they want to annihilate fascism. And the Ukrainians are hardcore fascists.
I mean, the shit's getting wild. I mean, I'd like to believe that, you know, when Trump gets in there, he'll try to do a peaceful solution of that.
I hope so.
Because, you know, Russia seems like that they want to, you know, be on a negotiation level with him.
Yeah.
But, you know...
So I guess they do have a few prisoner of wars, but it's saying here that the North Korean soldiers are primarily supplied by the Russians, which makes sense because North Koreans use Russian equipment anyway.
Well,
but a lot of it appears to be Soviet-era old equipment, and that there's a big language barrier, obvious. No. And several friendly fire incidents.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
But you know what, though? It kills me because, like, you know, people are like, oh, you know, Trump was in bed with Russia and he was doing all this. And I'm like, my first question is like, okay, would you prefer to go back to a Cold War era? You know?
I mean, we're right on the brink of it, dude. Afghanistan is fucking taken over by Islamist extremists.
Yep.
There's fucking wars going on in Eastern Europe. It's crazy, dude. I was there in 2020. I was like literally 12 miles from the Russian border at one point. There were no issues. Even though the whole time I was there, they were like, there's a threat of Russian artillery. Mm-hmm. It's because they had just done the whole Crimea thing 4 years prior. Which, the Crimea thing, is the same as the Ukraine thing.
I mean, I firmly believe...
Orthodox Russians are being persecuted by Ukrainians because they identify as Russian, because that's their culture, and they're all the same. They're all the same.
I really feel like we're already in that era of, like, World War III.
Yeah.
You know, it just really hasn't escalated to be as big, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. It's not a hot war yet.
Yeah.
Even though we have units over there, the Brits have units over there. But our government openly denied having any soldiers overseas, even though Kamala Harris gave a personal Christmas address to overseas soldiers after saying that there were no overseas deployed soldiers in combat zones.
That kills me that she really got up there and said that in that debate, man. I was like...
And then literally 5 days ago, on a fucking Zoom call was like, I'm so thankful that you guys are over there protecting us and serving us with like generals and all that. Like I recognized one of the fucking conference rooms because I know what fob that is.
I just look, man,
I've been there.
Look,
I've been in that conference room.
If I was, overseas and doing all that, I wouldn't even want to speak to that woman. Or
no, they told us Nancy Pelosi was gonna show up there one day, and we were like, "Fucking why?" We were all like, "No," and they didn't. They went to Jordan because it's a safe place, but they didn't. They were like, they said that they went and visited soldiers in Syria, like it was on their little press bullshit, and it's like they never fucking showed up here. They didn't even come. I bet they didn't even go to the border.
Well, look at
this shit. Fucking more aid. More aid.
Shit just makes me sick, man.
Dog. 1.25 billion presidential drawdown authority package, as well as 1.22 billion in additional funds. And I looked at the pie chart of this. That 1.22 billion is cash. That is monetary funding. That's what it's classified as.
That's ridiculous.
And then the other 2/3 of it is like some of it's equipment and some of it's like fucking war bonds or some fucking wild shit. It's just money laundering.
Can't even fucking take care of your own people over here, and
look at this motherfucker.
You can't even take care of your own people over here. But you want to get paid to other countries like that.
I love that they highlighted this man. I don't know who he is, nor do I care. This dude's nose just reminds me of a certain cartoon. All he's missing is the little hat back here. And he's the motherfucker that gave all our money away. No, I don't know who this is, but he's got a wild looking nose, and we shouldn't trust him. He just looks like he looks like a greasy car salesman. God. He's so nutty. Let's see. I want to do this. I want to see what's trending on YouTube. Let me hide this for a second.
Marvel Rivals. I've got it downloaded and I still ain't even played it yet. I heard it was pretty good. Or pretty fun.
I mean, I've seen some clips from it. It's just an Overwatch copy.
I was gonna say, it's like a reskin of Overwatch almost.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I've never played Overwatch. It never really grabbed my attention,
I played it a little bit, like in little bursts, but like it's once you, like, unless you're trying to like get achievements in the game or something or whatever, like it just gets so boring in my opinion.
Fair.
And some of the characters just end up so broken. This is all like brain rot. This is insane.
Yeah.
Gunna came out with something new. That's crazy. I'm trying to remember the last time Gunna came out with something.
Well, given that, today is New Year's Day, I mean, obviously all the trending videos are going to be typically like the New Year's ball and all that.
Yeah, that's wild. Wild. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's the new year, everybody. International New Year's, as it's officially called. I learned the other day we didn't start celebrating that, like, until the British Empire implemented it in, like, the 1750s.
Did not know that.
Yeah, here, I'll pull it up. It's fucking wild. Alright, well, apparently I'm wrong.
Oh.
But I'll allow it. This says, in many countries, the new year begins on January 1st. However, this wasn't always the case. For centuries, other dates marked the calendar. March 25th, December 25th. December 25th is weird. I think it's weird that we do it in the dead of winter. When historically, like, it's probably going to talk about, like, it's spring is the new year. We can thank the Roman king Numa Pompilius, the Roman Republican calendar. He revised it so January replaced March as the first month. It was a fitting choice since January is named after Janus, Roman god of all beginnings. March celebrated Mars, god of war. Some sources claim that Numa also created the month of January. That's very funny. Which Roman emperors did shit like that all the time. Like Julius Caesar introduced more changes through the Julian calendar, which I think is what we use. Is the Julian calendar we use, or a variation of it. But this is what I was talking about. So after the fall of Rome in the 5th century, many Christian countries altered the calendar so it was more reflective of their religion. And March 25th, the Feast of Annunciation, and December 25th became Christmas. Became common New Year's days. So they did both. Certain parts of Europe did both, which is wild. Pope Gregory the 13th introduced a revised calendar in 1582 in addition to solving this issue with leap years. How did he solve that? That's crazy. Imagine being the guy that fixes time. You're already a pope.
Oh, man.
And you're just like, you know what? That dude fucked up. We're actually in this year. That's what a lot of people think the Dark Ages is made up. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But over time, non-Christian countries it's the Gregorian calendar is what we use. Okay, the 1752. Okay, Great Britain and its American colonies did not begin following the Gregorian calendar until 1752. So I was right. Before that, they celebrated New Year's Day on March 25th. So Britain in 1752 adopted the Gregorian calendar because I assume they were becoming more Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started celebrating it in the dead of winter instead of
March 25th. That would have been crazy to have New Year on that day.
I mean, it makes sense. It's spring.
Oh, yeah, it does. But it would still be kind of odd, though.
I mean, yeah, like for us, like in the way that like we're trained.
Yeah,
but like
we're used to it.
Because it's called International New Year. Because in China they have Chinese New Year, which is based on the fucking lunar calendar, and Ethiopia has their own separate New Year, which is talked about right here. Yeah, and thus start the year on dates other than January. Ethiopia, for example, celebrates its New Year, known as, can't pronounce that, in September. Which they also have a very different climate than us, because the Gregorian calendar is also based around the fact that it's the northern hemisphere's seasonal changes.
Which speaking of that, I'm really hoping that they take that daylight saving shit away.
I hope so too. It'd be nice to get rid of that shit. It's so pointless.
It is,
and it does nothing but piss off my cats because when we have to roll back the clocks an hour. They remember what time they're supposed to get fed. But the clock, the imaginary time, says that it is now an hour later, and they get pissed.
That sounds like Mogwai. Every day, he's like, he knows when he's getting treats, he knows when he's getting food.
She's back there all cuddled up.
She's such a good cat.
Yeah, she's the perfect cat. She's lazy as shit. Every now and then, she will throw a toy, like a cat toy, down the hall, and then she'll be done.
Mog used to actually play fetch with his little mouse, and can't even get him to do it no more. Don't know why. He just stopped out of nowhere. Won't bring it back or anything.
Weird. What did I say I was gonna pull up? Fucking.
Well, first, I mean,
what do you got?
What happened with the seals at the Catholic Church opened, the Vatican opened?
Oh.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about that.
They got any videos of this shit?
Well, they said that they were going to be putting in like a
Yeah, they
24/7 like webcam in one of the vaults.
Yeah, here it is. The opening the holy door in history, starting from the holy year 1900. Did they do it?
Because I know that we talked about this before. I mean, they opened up that door on Christmas Day.
Yeah. I mean, he opened it. They opened it in 2015. This is him crossing the threshold. The holy door. The Jubilee. The holy year 1950. 1975. Huh. Look at that old motherfucker. Jesus.
I mean,
what did they do though? Did they have a?
I did. I never really looked into it. I mean, I've heard some people talk about it, but I don't know exactly what the hell they were doing.
I don't know either. The door of a prison chapel. So that's crazy. It's a prison chapel, and it's like in the Vatican, and they have a prison.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's in there? I want to know.
Well, not only that. I mean, look at the Vatican's vaults down there of all the shit that they have, like the Vatican Library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to fucking spend a week down in the Vatican Library.
Oh, I know.
I'd be down in that bitch like fucking Gandalf, just sifting through pages.
The one that actually stuck out to me was the one I seen on the Y-Files, and it was you know what? It's gonna bother me unless I find it. Hold on.
Yeah, you're fine. Rome, Italy. Pope Francis made a visit on Thursday, December 26th, to one of the largest prison complexes in Italy, opening a special holy door for the 2025 Catholic Holy Year, in what the Vatican said was the first such action by a Catholic pontiff.
The chronovisor. Have you heard about that?
No?
So the chronovisor, I guess, people are claiming that the Vatican has it in the vaults. But it allows you, it's a machine. It allows you to go back and see, like, whatever you want in time.
Yeah.
And they've claimed they've used it and everything like that. Well, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but pretty sure that the guy that claimed he made that ended up dying, like, shortly after.
Well, obviously.
And then they said that the Vatican got the plans to it and the device, and they still deny it to this day.
Yeah, there's reports of a machine, I can't remember what it's called, that it supposedly could show like what your brain, like what it could visualize your thoughts, like what was happening in your brain, like what you were thinking about on a screen. And somebody was wearing it when they died, and allegedly there's videotape that the Vatican possesses of someone seeing the pearly gates on this machine because after they died.
I'd like to know more about that.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But I think the only person that's talked about it was AJ on the Y-Files, and he didn't have very much on it.
I love watching his, channel, man.
Yeah,
he put a compilation out yesterday, but I was kind of hoping we get some new content for him. But you and me have had that discussion, like, about what's going on and everything, and I look forward to it every time he puts out a video because I just...
Yeah. He's very thorough in his research and stuff. He's much better than me at researching, where I just do this and I like fucking ADHD scroll through this and go, all right, that seems like enough.
My biggest thing is, like, he doesn't try to steer you one way or another. He gives you the information, and unless you, like, come to your own conclusion on what you think. Yeah. Not a lot of people that run channels are like that.
Well, yeah, they want the clickbaity shit.
Absolutely.
So, that's crazy. In 1949, this door was replaced, because it used to be a wooden door, because they did this every year.
Mm-hmm.
But in 1949, it was replaced by a bronze door that was blessed by Pope Pius the 12th. And then in 1975, the rite of closing the holy door was modified as the trowel and bricks were no longer used, and the panels of the bronze door were simply closed, giving greater prominence to the door than to the wall.
Well, I do remember seeing, like, one thing they said that was relative to that was the fact that there was, like, Lucifer's tomb
Yeah.
Up under there, and they were gonna put like a webcam in it, for 24/7 access.
Yeah,
for
it's not.
people.
It didn't show any videos, so unless you probably have to be like a fucking Catholic or have like an account with the fucking Pope shit or whatever. That's crazy though. Who knows? Who knows what they're actually doing though? I mean, like all they do is just fucking. They play fucking musical chairs with pedophiles all around the world.
Oh, yep, absolutely.
Which, I mean, good on them. They're doing what they love. And they're trying to make it normal.
All I can think about when you say that is like the Helsing Abridged.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Alucard was like talking to Anderson, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't recognize you with that little Timmy strapped to your chest or strapped to your dick or something like that."
I didn't recognize you with that little Timmy wrapped around your waist like a belt.
Oh man, this shit is hilarious. Hello there.
I woke her up.
She is the most chill cat ever.
Yeah. When the other two are fighting, sometimes she'll like run in between them and try to beat the shit out of them with her not arm.
Kind of reminds me of like the video I seen with like the dogs like arguing through the fence, and then one dog's like, "Oh," and like pushes one out of the way.
That motherfucker's wild. I fucking love watching dogs go at it when they don't actually want to do anything. They're just posing or whatever it is, fronting, posturing. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, I can definitely say that. Moving to a different topic, I'd say we let people know that, you finally ran into somebody on Call of Duty the other day that actually was able to kick us from the room, like the whole lobby.
Hackers.
Yeah. Like, that game is, I love playing it, but it is fucking out of control.
Well, like, they're just lazy.
They've got to get their shit together. And I guess one ex-employee come out a couple days ago, and he said that the reason that they can never get it right is because none of the developers, there's 3 studios. You got Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, and you got Treyarch. And none of them want to work with each other.
Well, yeah.
And then, they're given a new Call of Duty game to play, or, make every year. So by the time they figure it out, the next one's already coming out.
And it's different.
Yeah. And it's a shame, man. I mean,
you hate to see it, but
because this is probably the very first one that actually felt like a classical, like, type of Call of Duty game in years. And I hate to see it go down the drain like this.
Not at all. It's very different. It feels more like a Modern Warfare, the Modern Warfare remaster one.
It's fresh.
The 2019 Modern Warfare.
But a lot of elements they have stick to the original formula, though.
Well, here's the thing. Here's how they make the games feel different. Mm-hmm. They slightly change the weapons and the maps of every game to slow down or speed up the gameplay. And for this one, because the last few games have been slower style gameplay.
Fucking Omni movement.
So with this one, they're like, we're going to give them a fast game. And that's what they did in 2019, because in 2019, they brought out the sliding and the slide cancel and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then fucking Warzone, and it became all about speed. And then they switched gears a little bit, and they were like, slow it down, speed it back up.
Well,
that's how they get these waves.
At least the Omni movement is, like,
and that's because of the different studios.
Yeah, I know it's just an absolute shame to see it go like that, though.
Yeah, I don't really use the Omni movement. Like, I mean, I slide around on the map, but I don't jump and dive and shit because I use a keyboard, and like fucking Z is just a weird key for me to fucking tap.
I am gonna experiment with it a little bit when I go to the melee weapons like the bat, just to see how well it does.
I think it's retarded that the bat still gives you a knife noise. That's just lazy.
Never even noticed that.
Yeah, when you get killed by the bat, any melee weapon, it gives you the knife noise. The same as getting knifed. Wow. It's lazy sound design. I noticed it because I'm autistic.
Oh God,
it's fucking ridiculous.
I know we're lacking on a little bit of content this week, and I think it's just because it falls on last 2 weeks we've had fall and holidays.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just busy holiday stuff. I mean, we've also been doing shit. Like, I've been modifying my car. I had family meet and greets and bullshit.
And then, obviously, you see my part where I'm constantly either fucking with a car or I'm doing shit for the family.
Well, your dad is just fucking bored and buys something at Walmart every other week and says, I want this on my truck. I know I already have one, but this one was $20 off.
Well, what? I ended up...
Because I know he's always like, it was on sale. But I know he's buying the sales where if you move the sticker, the price is the same. They just put a sale thing on the price.
Oh, I know. Like, let's see, what? I've changed that radio out 3 times.
You've changed the amp out twice in the last 40 days.
And then the radio itself, I've changed out like 3 times, like just in less than a month. Like
we did the exhaust on it.
Yep. I absolutely love putting radios and stuff in, like I told you, but it ends up becoming like too much of a hassle, and then it makes me not want to enjoy it.
Well, yeah, it's not. First of all, it's not something you're supposed to do all the time on the same vehicle. Anyone who does that is losing their mind in some way, shape, or fashion. The only reason I would put a different radio in mine right now is if I genuinely wanted a new one. But the one I have fucking works.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, like I just want to throw a sub in it. But like, I'm not going to change the head unit out 3 times in 6 months. That's insane. That's a waste of money.
You're not wrong.
And what has he done with the old head units?
I gave him, well, the first one I gave to somebody else as a gift.
Yeah, so you've given them both away.
And then no, the second one, I took it back and got a different one. So, and then I ended up that one, the one that we got in it now was like $150 difference than the last one.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, sounds better, but
at what cost? $150 fucking dollars that he didn't have because he's bitching about money.
Yep, you're not wrong.
But you hate to see it. I'm gonna buy a new car this week. Go ahead, buddy. I can't wait to see him roll in there with some Cadillac that costs $500 a month. I'm gonna piss myself.
It's almost too much to handle, unfortunately.
How the fuck you gonna have one eye and try to justify buying a new car when you fucked up the car you drive a few times?
Now, granted, I will say...
He's not a bad driver. He's not a bad driver.
Well, that's subjective. But
the car, he's a better driver than Sam. But there's too much primer on that goddamn car because we've replaced too much shit on it. That fucking truck.
Now, granted, I do really think that he needs an automatic. I really do.
Yes.
But I think that
motherfucker's got a pirate leg.
It could be a better position before you do that. You know?
He could get a job. It's just a thought.
Yep.
But what do I know? I'm just a functioning member of society.
Yeah.
Barely. I only work because I have bills. Like, if I could get away, like, with living on the money I get from the government for getting fucked up, like, I would do it.
I don't blame you, but you put your time in, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's besides the point. I'm just saying, like, I understand not wanting to work. Working sucks dick. But that's what you got to do.
I hate it at the moment, though. I mean, but my time is taken up so much by helping take care of this family and everything else. Like, it takes up my time. So,
fuck that.
Because, I can't go work, a 40-hour-a-week job and then also take care of all that. But, it's going to come down to the point where I have to decide one of the two, and I've already decided I want to go back to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around people all day.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around people all day.
Yeah, you need to live. You got to fucking have your own shit. And they're just...
Absolutely.
They're all just... Unfortunately, the majority of the family is just crabs in a bucket. But that's what happens when you grow up in the ghetto.
Yep. unfortunately.
Some people don't. Some people don't want to rise above their environment. They'd rather be products of.
Yep. Again, you're not wrong.
And I'm talking about white people before y'all make this about race. It's a white ghetto. I'm a wigger adjacent.
Welcome to Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah. I hate using the term wigger because it's implying that you're saying that they're a white N-word.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's everybody knows what wigger. You say the word wigger, a dude pops into your head and you're like, yeah. And that's what we grew up around.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying there's like no black people in Drexel. It's fair share. It's right next to Trotwood. But like it's the majority of Drexel is just white crack and meth heads.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right.
And then a few Latino chop shops.
It's definitely on the top 5 list of like poverty level places in Ohio.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Dude, the Platte where fucking mom and your grandparents live is like it's literally like Skid Row.
Yeah, it's a shame when Grandma and Grandpa's house, they take such good care of it because they've been there for 60 years.
Oh yeah,
and it's the best looking place around in that.
The only
area.
blessing of the street that they live on is the fact that there is a wall of trees that is unmaintained and it just blocks off the ghetto from their nice ass house.
Very true.
And it's a shame that their house is so nice, and then the 2 other houses they own that are right beside it are just trash.
Like I told them, they need to bulldoze damn things and be done with it.
Well, I meant Sam's house and your mom's house. Like,
yeah,
they're just.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, bulldoze them?
Yeah, bulldoze them.
What's even wrong with Sam's house?
It's got a lot of foundation problems and everything. And
then yeah, bulldoze it.
Yeah,
the fuck.
I said it's gonna cost more to fix it than it would be to build a whole new house.
Yeah, I would bulldoze it. They could sell that land.
Yep, you're not wrong. But I know I gotta piss. So,
yeah, we can take a break.
Yep.
Thank you. Snicker. Let me put that thing back up. What were we talking about?
I was kind of steering off into different conversations.
Yeah, that's what I was. Kara asked what we were talking about. We were talking about
You're kind of being a little bit random today.
Yeah.
It's like our random podcast.
Well, it's been fucking 2 weeks off, and we've both been preoccupied, so I haven't really done any research for this.
That's fair.
That's why I was just like, oh, what's going on in the news today? Fucking, oh shit, fucking people got ran over in New Orleans.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, I'm kind of running on fumes today, just being exhausted with everything else, and, that being said, we'll be a little bit better prepared on the next one.
Yeah, no, I'll be, you can start sending me stuff on Instagram, and I can probably pull it up on here.
They get the laptop set up.
Nice. Nice. Now you can start recording us, get our dick slapped in Call of Duty.
Absolutely.
Which I might start doing, too. I just haven't been.
Yeah, I just need to, I'm going to have to run it through. I'm thinking if I can record through maybe Twitch, since I can broadcast it. Yeah, I think it should be okay.
Yeah, what I used to do is I would just stream my games on Twitch and then go get the VOD off Twitch and then chop that up in Wondershare. Yeah, I gave him one. Oh, no. No, I gave him a laptop to record and make his own videos and stuff.
Yeah, we were thinking about making videos, getting our ass beat on Call of Duty and everything.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
But yeah, that was the point of that. I do need to get a new monitor because you see the green lines on this. Watch. I just like.
Wait, where at? Oh, the pixelation on it.
Yeah, well, so that's from the HDMI port being just old and bad. Cause this monitor is like 6-7 years old. I just need to get a new flat monitor, but I might just get another curved one and have both of them set
up. I love
up.
those curved ones, man. They're great.
It's nice, dude. I like it. I flipped them around when I redid all my wires because I made that cleaner down there.
Well, I was hoping that eventually I could get that Samsung TV that Grandma and Grandpa have the curved Samsung.
Yeah,
I love it. Hi, Otis.
Hey, buddy. He's not about it. But yeah, we can just make this one an hour. Low energy just to get one out there. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's punk rock podcast. Low production value. We'll be better prepared.
Yeah, like you said,
the holiday season's over.
2 weeks off. It kind of.
Yeah, I've been off work. I'm off work until next Monday still, so that's why I've been trying to bust out shit on my car.
Fair enough.
Fucking plug your buddy.
Oh yeah, Lost Paladin plays on YouTube, and his link to his channel will be down in
It'll be in the description. I make YouTube videos sometimes. I'm working on right now when I have the motivation. At Scarecrow Games on YouTube. I'll put the link in the description, and then
I'm gonna hopefully have ours up and running by the end of the week.
They're yours.
Oh yeah, but I meant for the streaming.
Yeah. Cool. So I mean, this will be up on. Well, actually, I'll probably get it up today, but I can edit it later if you give me the link.
Oh, that works.
Cool beans.
Alrighty.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.